Wow, what a performance by the Crimson Tide tonight. Alabama takes LSU out to the woodshed and just absolutely whips their ass from beginning to end in this ball game. Alabama never let up. They were the best team from start to finish. They went out there the first drive of the ball game. They scored a touchdown, and really, LSU didn't score a touchdown until right there with 11 seconds left in that ball game. A true garbage time, touchdown for LSU right there at the end of the game. Alabama's defense played phenomenal. Alabama's offense played phenomenal. Overall, I think that this was the best game that Alabama has played from beginning to end, and there were no question marks about this game. You think about that Wisconsin game at the beginning of the year. Tyler Van Dyke got injured in that game, and he injured his ACL. He'd be out for the season. Versus the during that Missouri game, they had a lot of guys banged up during that game, so there were still some question marks. Second half of that Georgia game, there were a lot of question marks in that game too. So really, man, this game is just a bona fide great win for Alabama. I think probably their best win of the season. Because that Georgia game, look, I mean, they lost today versus Ole Miss, and I mean, look, they're still a top-ranked team, but man, just the way Alabama looked in this game, they just definitely looked like the best team, the best version of themselves so far this season. So I cannot be more proud of this Alabama team. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We're going to break down my takeaways from this game. Really, we're just going to go over the keys to victory and talk about how Alabama just absolutely checked off every single one of those boxes. But make sure you guys are subscribed right here. The more subscribers we get, the more dubs Alabama gets. So hit that sub button for me right now. Before we get into some of those takeaways, though, I want to go into some of these injuries that happened during this game today. Unfortunately, there were multiple injuries for Alabama, and unfortunately, some of them do not look to be very good. Jaeden Roberts, he left in the second quarter of this game with a leg injury, or at least what appeared to be a leg injury anyways, and it did not look good. He's a very, very big dude. He's been battling through a lot of injuries so far this year, so, we'll definitely keep an eye on or an ear out about Jaeden Roberts, but man, the way he limped off and he did not return in this game, it did not look very good. I will say, though, Geno Vandermark played a whole lot better than, I've been talking about him, the way he has played anyways so far this season. So, we'll keep an eye on Jaeden Roberts and anything that comes from there, but it did not look very good. Quandarrius Robinson also left this game with a forearm injury in the third quarter, and it sounded like they said on the broadcast that it was a severe forearm injury, so that does not sound good either for Quandarrius Robinson. I thought he was playing very, very good pretty much the entire season for Alabama in the times that he has been out there, and I thought he was getting some pressure on Garrett Nussmeier in this game. So very unfortunate that Quandarrius went out with a left forearm injury. Like I said, they sounded like they said on the broadcast that it was a severe injury. So that is not good to hear at all. It's very, disappointing to hear that Quandarrius Robinson got injured in this game. And then another very notable injury, Devonta Smith also left in the third quarter of this ball game. Not sure exactly what the problem was with Devonta Smith, but it did not look like, from what I saw anyways, that he came back in this ball game. Maybe that just has to do with the fact that Alabama was out so far in front pretty much the entire time of this game. So maybe you didn't want to aggravate anything more than it already was. But, just hate to see Devonta Smith, Quandarrius Robinson, and Jaeden Roberts all go out in this game and not return. Jam Miller did go out in the game as well, but he did come back later on in the fourth quarter. So three big injuries for Alabama in this game. We will definitely keep an eye on it, and we will definitely monitor that. So make sure you guys are subscribed. When I hear anything about it, you guys will too. So make sure you hit that sub button right now. All right, let's just talk about some keys to victory for this game. And man, I tell you what, the offensive line played absolutely phenomenal, I thought, in this game. Really, the big key for this game was Alabama was really able to, run the ball in this game. They got a push finally, very consistently in this ball game. Alabama, Jalen Milroe just went absolutely off, and we'll talk about him here in just a little bit. But Alabama was able to run the ball 48 times in this game for 311 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry and 6 rushing touchdowns. Every single one of Alabama's touchdowns came on the ground, and really, that just all has to go to the offensive line, man. I thought they played so good. I think Jalen Milroe only got sacked one time in this game, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe that one sack was called back because of that face mask when the LSU fans started throwing trash on the field at the end of the game too. So, look, I mean, their offense was just really, really flowing in this game. 10 for 13 on third downs. Alabama only had 7 penalties in this game, which, 7 still kind of, a lot, but it's not 15. It's not 12. It's not those, super costly penalties that at the end of the day really hurt you into being able to lose games. So, look, they stayed ahead of the sticks for the most part too. So, look, Alabama's offensive line, got to give kudos to those guys. They played absolutely amazing in this game. So let me know right now at the pinned comment of today's video, guys, who do you think should get the game ball for Alabama here? I think the only option is to give it to Jalen Milroe. Maybe you could give it to the defense as a whole, but man, the way Jalen Milroe played in this game, I think there's no other person that you could give it to besides him. Let me know what you guys think of the pinned comment of today's video. Which brings us right here to key to victory number 2. Jalen Milroe has got to outplay Garrett Nussmeier, and he absolutely did that in this game. Now, Jalen Milroe did not have to throw the ball a whole hell of a lot in this game to get the win for Alabama. Only threw the ball 18 times in this ball game, but really the story of the game is what Jalen Milroe was able to do on the ground. Just absolutely cooked LSU last year. Ran for 155 yards in that game. This year, runs for 4 touchdowns and 185 yards in this one, including that long 72-yard run. Jalen Milroe is just seeing the field really, really good. And you think back a couple weeks ago to that LSU versus Texas A&M game. LSU was not able to stop Marcellus Reed a couple weeks ago in that read option game, and it just absolutely fed over to this game as well. They could not stop Jalen Milroe if you paid him $1 million to. There was just nothing that they could do to stop him. And, he was 12 for 18 throwing the ball as well with 109 yards passing. And Jalen Milroe also set an Alabama rushing touchdown record for quarterbacks in this football game for a season. So, just congratulations to him. There's been a lot of ups and downs so far this season. But overall, this is the best game Jalen Milroe has had, I think, probably as Alabama's starting quarterback, this year and last year as well. Today's show is presented by Game Time. Look, guys, Game Time is the only ticketing app I use way before they started being a sponsor here at the Alabama Football Report. Game Time has a new feature now that you guys got to check out called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks is just curation that makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and everything else in between. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. So if you're in town just tailgating and you want to go to a game last minute, you can do that with Game Time. Game Time has killer last minute deals. They have all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time even has ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Now remember, terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Because what time is it? It's game time. All right, our key to victory number 3 going into this game was Alabama was going to have to limit the costly mistakes on the road. And I think they absolutely did that in this game. Like I said just a little bit ago, Alabama only had 7 penalties in this game, and none of them were super, super costly. Honestly, I don't even really remember one off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I think there was a personal foul at one point, but really it didn't kill you. They were able to, I think the communication was pretty on point during the game today. Even though LSU at times, their crowd kind of got into it, pretty solid there in the first half. Alabama was taking a couple of those plays down to the wire. They had to use some timeouts early in that first half. But, overall, man, by the third quarter, the LSU fans were just gone. So, you didn't do anything in this game that absolutely killed you. You did not go out there and have those costly penalties on third downs on defense to be able to extend drives that we have, seen multiple times so far this year. I talked about you didn't stay behind the sticks early on, but I think the very, very first play, Alabama had a false start in the game, so you're starting off the game 1st and 15, but they were able to work their way downfield. There was a very solid, 3rd and 8, I believe it was, early on in the game. On that first drive that Alabama was able to convert, they were 10 for 13 on third downs in this game on offense. So, those are the kinds of things that really, really win you football games. And even when Alabama had to punt, talk about James Burnip as well, he punted the ball one time. I think it was late in that third quarter. He kicked the ball from his own 15 all the way down to the LSU 10-yard line is where it was down. So Alabama, just all across the board, they did everything that they needed to do to win this football game. Like I said, man, I could not be more proud of this team. And look, right here to this next weigh-in here, what is your confidence level in Alabama making the college football playoffs? Everything is in front of them right now. Everything is in front of Alabama. You got Mercer next week at home, and then you have Oklahoma after that on the road, and then you have Auburn after that. So, there are 3 more games in front of you against, honestly, let's just be honest, Mercer is probably the best team out of those 3 teams. So, you have everything in front of you. Multiple teams lost today. Miami lost. Georgia lost another one, which I'll be honest, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for you. But look, what's your confidence level in Alabama making the college football playoffs this year? Scale it for me 1 to 10 in the comment section right now. Just some final wrap-up thoughts here before we get out of here. We talked about a lot about the offense, but, man, the defense was so good today, man. You had 3 more turnovers in this game, and Alabama was able to score points off of those turnovers as well. They forced 2 interceptions from Garrett Nussmeier. Coming out there, first drive of the second half, LSU was driving right down the field, and then Deontay Lawson. That was going to be a touchdown pass on the slant there. I think it was Kyron Lacey. But Deontay Lawson, man, was just right there. Garrett Nussmeier never saw him. You had Jahed Campbell force that fumble early. I believe that was in the first half as well. Tim Smith jumped on that. So, look, man, Alabama's defense played absolutely lights out in this game. Sure, there were a couple of plays that they gave up early in the game. Caden Durham for LSU was able to pop off a couple nice runs, but just, man, overall, coming into this game, it was a 2.5-point spread coming into this game. Alabama absolutely blew that out of the water. I thought LSU was going to be able to take advantage of some matchups, on the back end, whether that was against Deontay Lawson going up against Mason Taylor or, some of those speedsters going up against guys like Xavier Brown, who we have seen get beat so far this year, but, quarterbacks missed a lot of throws. Look, Garrett Nussmeier didn't really miss a lot of throws in this game today. Did throw a couple of bad interceptions, but man, just at the end of the day, Alabama this was probably their best game of the entire season, I think. And I want to did they give that last interception there to Bray Hubbard? We were kind of just shooting the shit and talking a lot. I don't know if they did or not. I'm just looking at this stuff right here, looking at the stats. But he's another guy that played really, really good on Alabama's defense today. So, look, guys, Alabama has everything in front of them right now. You can just flush everything that happened for the first, 9 games of the season so far. Everything else is in front of them, and they have a very, very good chance, I think, to make it into the college football playoffs. But look, this one right here, excuse me, all that yelling during our watch party really killed me here. But look, Alabama now 7-2 in their last 9 games going down to Baton Rouge. So much for a really, really tough environment. Their fans were leaving at the end of the third quarter. So just good game overall for the Crimson Tide here. They take down number 15 ranked LSU on the road 42-13.